Welcome back, everybody, to week number 4 of the Boom and Bloom Spring Open Hanabi tournament. Super excited to jump back into even more tricky variants. We are joined again by tournament director and co-commentator Doodles, aka Steven. Do you want to walk us through what this sticky-looking suit is?
Absolutely, yeah. This week, the teams are challenged by the brown suit. And the tricky thing about the brown suit is that it does not react to number clues. It can only be clued with brown. Which doesn't seem that bad at first, but it gets in the way whenever you touch a brown trash card. It's hard to get it out of the hand in the future. And also, if you have multiple brown cards in the same hand, it is difficult to tell exactly which brown card should be played in the future. And so we'll see how teams handle that. And there are various different methods. Usually, the timing of when brown reclues are given, but there are some other clever ways to do it, and we'll see what teams are employing.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. Brown seems particularly annoying in 2-player. Like in multiple player games, you can do all sorts of sneaky things, but 2, they just get gunked up in your hand and stick together. So yes, I'm curious to see how they handle it. So yeah, let's jump right in. We're going to start with a lovely team of players, Eliclax and Omega Axis, playing, I believe, H group?
I believe they are playing H group, yeah, and this pair is excitingly representing the Oceania region, which is a region that is, I think, like our least represented in our very international Hanabi community. So it's exciting to see them out there doing that region proud.
Yeah, well, good luck to them. Let's see how they do. Ellie's turn number 1 looks like a pretty slam dunk clue to give here. I guess there is actually a little bit of interesting choice between 1 and just blue. 1, of course, gives less upfront information about what 1 it is, which could get a little annoying if Omega sees 1s in Ellie's hand. But on the flip side, it's not nothing to get -1 on all the other cards. What do you think, Steven? What would your gut be between starting with 1 versus blue here?
I personally am a big believer in cluing blue when there's just one in the hand. And then if there were multiple 1s, I would always clue 1. So in the future, my partner can, despite not having -1 on those cards, just know that they are -1.
Oh, interesting. That's cool. So yeah, effectively -1. Yeah, but just to showcase with a hypothetical, the benefit of blue 1 here is, let's pretend Ellie's chop card was a blue 1 itself. Now, Omega, if they knew this was blue, they know they don't have to waste time cluing this 1. While if it's just known to any 1, Ellie's sort of forced into cluing blue back, so. But, okay, interesting trade-offs. Ellie chooses 1, and let's see what Omega does. The brown suit is acting nicely here, having the brown 1 appear by itself. So often, you know, if any other brown card was in hand, like a brown 4 here, or a brown card over here, you can see how this card is uncluable, or unfocusable. So when I see a brown card by itself, oh my gosh, I need to snap it up immediately, so... Oh, okay. Omega says, sorry, Piano Blue, there's something even better. Do you want to talk about 5 pulls? A referential clue, huh?
I guess so, yeah. These are one of the referential clues that live in H group as well. Omega is loaded on this turn and not expected to give a 5 stall. And so cluing 5 to Eliclax's hand on a 5 that's not in danger of getting discarded is instead what we call a 5 pull in H group conventions, and that just means play the card to the right of this 5. And this applies for any 5 that's like far enough away from chop that it wouldn't be a save.
Very powerful clue. And actually, I can see that's going to be helpful right away, since after this blue 4 discards, Omega can see that they're going to have to save this duplicate blue 4 already, so this is actually a very strong way of getting a head start on what has to be saved in the future. Alright, well, Ellie will probably be delighted to find out this is a brown 1. Ah, but okay, they choose to get a head start themselves on cluing 2s. What do you think about this, the delay?
I think it's interesting. I'm guessing that the thought that Ellie is having here is that at least 2 clues are required to deal with Omega's hand, from Ellie's perspective. Like a 2 save won't save the brown 2 because, it's not touched by 2 despite being a 2. So Ellie is anticipating having to give a 2 save and then clue brown or red. And so if Ellie plays right now and lets Omega play blue 1, from Ellie's perspective, Omega's hand might be impossible to solve in time.
Okay, makes sense. Omega surely will just play. Ellie, okay, will continue their plan, I assume, and clue brown. And yep, you can see the note 2-5.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
it is indeed 2 and 5 and not 25, for those who are less familiar with the note notation.
Until we have our long brown suit. Yeah, well, goodbye green 3. That's sad to see it go. I wonder if maybe Ellie could do something like, I don't think this is conventional, but, a very early fixed clue like this. Maybe that could function as some sort of weird chop move.
It would be really nice if a fixed clue like this caused a chop move in this particular position, wouldn't it? Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's sort of undefined in H group. Maybe it even look like a bluff or something. Who knows?
Yeah. I think a pair would have to be playing together for a long time to have clear idea of whether this clue chop moves or not. And probably Ellie is just preferring rock solid lines where there's not synchronization issues about where chop is afterwards. Doesn't want to risk losing the brown 2.
Yeah, makes sense. It is a shame that because of this slow save approach, it is awkward that Ellie still doesn't know this is indeed the very brown 1 that he's trying to save this brown 2 for.
And indeed, this is a good advertisement for why tempo and knowing which cards you're playing can be a good thing sometimes. If these players had started with a different hypothetical of blue and brown, then already the game would be looking a little bit nicer, just because the brown 2 in Omega's hand is so much easier to solve.
That's interesting, actually. Yeah, the 5 pull does look so appealing immediately, but I mean, yeah, that's a really good point that brown could be really valuable, but it is. Yep. I mean, it's a real trade-off. So
absolutely.
Okay. So Ellie chooses to do the fixed clue now. And I do wonder, yes, there are indeed chop move notes on this yellow 3, probably from this. And one nice thing about giving fixed clues like this is now when you have duplicates like this, well, you have free choice of which one to discard now. So let's see, Omega could, if they wanted to, discard one or the other to signal a chop move. Okay, well, they choose that. I don't know if that's like conventional in H group 2-player.
I'm not sure either. My experience in H group games is that when it comes to discarding fully known trash, everyone agrees that there's a trash order chop move. But very frequently when it comes to discarding same hand duplicates, there's less clear agreement. So it may well be that this pair, which formed exclusively to play for this week of the tournament, so they don't have much experience playing with each other, decided not to find out live in a tournament game what the discard order means.
Ellie still has not played this brown 1, but surely now he's run out of stuff to do. So okay, there it is. Very dry board in terms of 1s. Just gotta dig for more cards.
Ooh.
Oof.
Well, getting tempo on the brown 2 is becoming increasingly difficult. The deck has decided to not cooperate.
Brown rears its ugly head. Minor note, Ellie can know that they don't have brown 5 in their hand, right? Because otherwise the only other legal save target would have been a 2.
That's true.
But yeah, surely they're just going to keep digging now. Ooh, okay, this is... Suddenly 4s looks a little overbearing, maybe sticking 3 4s in their hands, so I wonder if they're going to do the more conservative surgical approach. Yeah. And yes, makes sense. Like they do. Yeah, of all 4s to lose, that's not the worst.
Well, in some sense, this is good. We've gotten all the brown 1s out of the way now, and so there's quite a bit less brown trash in the deck left to bother us later.
That's the optimistic way of looking at all these annoying brown cards. Yep. It's too bad. Yeah, you do have to sort of save this too, because right, this one could be yellow or green. So, yep. Yeah. Another 4 gone, but I mean that's sort of inevitable when you only draw a couple 1s with no connectors. All right, keep digging. Oh dear. Okay. Ellie knows that this 2 is one of these 2s, but he's got to do something. 8 clues. So yeah.
Chooses 2, yeah.
Omega is now locked, so let's see what sort of fill-in they choose. Ah, okay. Just a stall, basically. Hey, and here we go. Now we have a tempo play clue on the brown 2 to unlock.
Let's go.
Woohoo. Yeah, okay, the 2s are rolling in now. Could consider a bluff here, maybe, like green. But I wonder if there's any fear of, like, making it look like a fix. Blue's direct. Well, that is a pretty good 4. Brown 2 is already down, but what are you going to do about it? Can't save it. Chucking
Nice.
the 2. Chucking the 2 that they know is duped. Yeah. Rip 4. All right.
Straightforward.
Ah, a little prio action here. Blue 3 is expected to play because it plays into blue 4. It's so impolite to play this 2 instead, unless it must mean something more. And since this is already chop moved, here's a finesse.
Nice. Yep.
Things are rolling. Lots of cards.
Yeah.
2, 3, all known. Great stuff. Ellie trusts the prio. So I guess prio is a little bit trickier. Do you have any preference here in mind between playing the 3 into this 4 versus playing into your own hand here?
I think the traditional priority thinking in H group is that you should play into your partner's hand before playing into your own hand. And I imagine that's the policy that this pair will be playing with.
Wonder if there's any micro reads to read into from that choice.
The big concern, I think, is with priority on, does playing yellow 2 cause a priority bluff? Like, is it a way to get a red 1 or a brown 3 out of slot 1?
Oh, sure, yeah. Like, or even mark this as yellow 4 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, so when in doubt, best to just play by the book, not confuse your teammate. Hey, brown 3, okay. How does he want to get it? Maybe just brown? Yes.
Looking good.
Yep, no prio shenanigans. The final one comes down. Unwinding the cards. Ooh, that's okay. I was wondering if that would work as a inversion here. Red 4. Is this ever red 3? What do you think?
I think it's allowed as a save because red 4 is critical. And maybe Omega makes a read based on the fact that Ellie didn't clue 3 this time when the red 1 was in slot 1.
Right, 3 here would, if this was the missing 3, then this would just be clearly a bluff. But you make a good point about this. From Ellie's perspective, of Omega's perspective, this totally could be a red 4 and a red 5. So if this were to play right now, then it would tell Ellie they have a red 5, so.
Yeah.
But okay. Interesting. Omega chooses to play by the book, not make things weird.
I suspect that part of Omega's calculation here is just that, sure, my slot 4 card shouldn't be red 3 because 3 was available on that previous turn. But, we're humans. What if it is?
Yeah. Easy way to lose the game instantly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, it's not expected to play. Omega knows that it could not be expected to play. So,
yeah.
Brown 5 needs to be saved. And it is. So this could be 4, I guess. They've been on low clues, especially when you discard a brown trash on your chop. You know that means any other brown cards in your hand have been blocked from being clued. So this totally could be a brown 4, I think. All right, still playing it safe. I like it. And there's the fix. Okay. The tempo, rather.
The tempo clue, yeah.
0 clues, so keep digging, keep playing.
Looking like it should be a smooth finish for this team now. They have all the cards they need except for brown 4, and there it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
Great. Smoothing out the 5 so they can unwind. GG. Oh, right, I forgot the green 4, but okay, now GG.
Now the GG, yeah.
Oh, I forgot the yellow 5. Oh my god. GG to them.
GG. Here we are on to Seed 3 from this week, and we are once again seeing Noah and Estabir, who have been showcased before in a previous week. This is a pair that is still tied for first in the tournament.
Ooh.
and they are playing Turbo on this seed. And immediately, looking at these opening hands, I bet they secretly wish that for just a moment they could be not playing Turbo, because we have brown cards that are adjacent, which makes it awfully hard to give a referential clue targeting this brown one.
Yeah, how the heck do you handle
It blocks
brown and
Benzo.
referential clues? Sounds scary.
So the way we handle it, there's a couple different tools that we use. One is that we have ways to refer left, and we have ways to refer right with the loaded rank pulls. So once a player like has an action, you can give a clue that refers rightwards. The other way that we deal with it is by having some special agreements about how color pushes work with brown cards. What we have is you can both push into and out of brown cards. We don't treat them like they're clued for the purposes of color pushes.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
what this means is, just to create some hypothetical very quickly to demonstrate, let's imagine something like this happens. This would push slot 2, so we'll just pretend this is a pushable card. Noah plays, and now, if this were brown 1 here, Estabir could clue yellow and push this brown 1. It would not skip over it and push slot 2 like it would if these were non-brown cards.
That sounds pretty clever, yeah.
Yeah. And similarly, brown would now be the clue that pushes slot 2 instead. And then the final piece is that we use a staleness condition. So if Estabir has a turn where he provably could have pushed this card and doesn't, now suddenly it calcifies and becomes fully clued again, and it no longer participates in referential clues. And now this will skip over it and push this brown card.
Uh-huh.
So that's how we handle it in the referential systems.
Neat.
All of that said, this opening hand is still an absolute misery because we don't have a way to signal any particularly desirable discards at the beginning of the game. So let's get right into it and let's see how this team deals with that. Okay, so they start off with a ones clue, planning to fix with green later, and this choice gives Estabir the maximum ability to signal discards into Noah's hand. Estabir is expected to play this one for this pair, and if he skips over that and plays this one, it would signal a discard on slot 5. And if he skips to here, it would signal a discard on slot 4. And so cluing ones instead of another option gives the maximum amount of flexibility on Estabir, gaining tempo while signaling a discard to Noah's hand. Estabir plays the normal one, signaling a discard in Noah's slot 1. Estabir is just like, I hope there's a reason for Noah to clue back, because any clue I give to Noah right now is bad. Fixed clue comes in, and now Estabir is going to clue 2s to Noah. And this has 2 impacts. This revokes the PTD that was given to slot 1, and it's a right referential play clue targeting this brown 1.
Oh, what? Seriously? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we have survived the starting hand that looked so dangerous,
Wow.
but at least partially due to luck. So
And now remind me that's because Estabir is loaded currently, so it can't just be a normal save.
It's actually because Noah is loaded with this discard.
Oh, loaded with discard, right.
Yeah, this PTD makes Noah loaded, and even though we're revoking it, it's still a right referential play clue.
Sneaky.
Yep. Okay, so then just keep playing cards, giving PTD here. That's quite annoying. We would like to be able to push this brown card, and if we had drawn yellow or red cards, we would be able to, but instead this blue clue is going to be focused here. So tempo on the blue 2.
Oh gosh.
Uh-oh. Once again, we're blocked. We can't clue brown to get this card.
Another sticky situation.
Yeah. In this case, Estabir chooses to get tempo on the green 2, and therefore chop move this brown 4. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oof.
Well, let's see what Estabir does. Estabir gives one more tempo clue and says, please give me a yellow or red card.
Oh, just sweeping it all under the rug.
A green or blue card will work too. Okay, finally, here we go. Push on slot 4. And the brown 2 is down. Okay. Slightly uncomfortable position here. And of course this brown 3 is blocked. It can't be clued yet. So Estabir signals a... Oh, actually, apologies. I was about to say this signals a discard, but it doesn't. And let me go into why. this pair is playing with a permanent chop move convention from Turbo, which is that every chop move that's intentionally given, if the card could still be brown, then it gets skipped over for the meaning of discard signals. So on this turn, when Estabir clues green, this is chop moved and it's permanent. It's no longer eligible for discard signals unless it gets proven non-brown.
Huh.
Same with this card. Permanently chop moved. So on this turn, in non-brown, this would mean discard slot 4, but since both of these are permanently chop moved, instead it just means lock. And now Noah has a known sacrifice here in slot 2, but yeah.
Well, that seems like a perfect example of why that convention is there.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I'm expecting Noah here to go ahead and take this sacrifice. Staying locked in this situation feels a little bit insane. Okay. Trash brown, we can go ahead and get that discard. Okay. Before Estabir can get this brown 3, Noah gets this brown 3. Oh, now that's fascinating. Tempo on the green 3. Finally takes the PTD, giving PTD here to Estabir. Okay, I think Estabir is going to take this opportunity to push the brown 4 using green. Sure enough. And now we just have this trash brown card that's like kind of stuck in hand. It'll be interesting to see what problems, if any, that causes the team. Push. Ah, okay, well, that's one way to deal with it. Just draw the brown 5 right away and clue it. Wow. I wonder if the team would have been spending one of their pieces of bomb budget on this card otherwise. I think they probably would have. Okay, and now they're done with the brown suit, and they can sort of just ignore those cards from now on, which is very useful. Chop move. Okay, maybe a fixed clue needed. Yep. PTD. So at this point in the game, this team has almost all the cards they need. They're still waiting on green 4, yellow 5, and red 1. But there are endgame distribution concerns that they can be optimizing for. And it looks like the one that's most relevant, although it's not particularly relevant at all, is Noah already has red 3 and red 5 together in the same hand. So it'll be optimal for this team to put red 4 into the opposite hand. Which means that if the red 1 is very, very deep, after the red 1 and red 2 go down, there might not be enough cards left in the deck to play red 3 from Estabir's hand, and then both red 4 and red 5 from Noah's hand, for example. Or potentially all 3 cards from Noah's hand. They might have to start the final round of the game with red 3, play red 4, and then red 5. This is not particularly likely to matter because there are indeed 3 copies of red 1, so it's hard to get bottom decked by a red 1. But that would be the one thing left for them to do once they have enough clues for Noah to start stalling and for Estabir to take the rest of the draws.
Yeah, sometimes that's really important for getting that extra last 1% win chance, having Noah not draw both red 4s. But it looks like they're in pretty good shape for now.
For now? And there's that red 4? Okay, never mind. Maybe I should have just waited a turn. Okay, and then sure enough, if I had waited 2 turns, we wouldn't even be talking about it at all.
Well, they're actually, what's funny? Like, if this was a much more dire situation and the team did know that, okay, Noah's expected to bottleneck stall here, how cool is it that Noah's discard could even, in theory, signal that Estabir has a red 4 in their hand? Noah sees reason not to need to stall, but...
Okay, and now it's just impossible for this team to lose. The only card left for them to find is yellow 5, and even if it's all the way on the bottom, they will win the game. So, bang, 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 and we finish.
Woo.
Clean.
I'm impressed they managed to save all those brown cards in Noah's hand. Yeah, GG.
GG, well played.
All right, last but not least, we have seed number 4 with Will Flame and Rand P. And they are playing RefSieve. I'm curious, Stephen, what sort of special brown tech does RefSieve have in their pockets?
The answer is very much similar to what we saw in the Turbo Seed, In fact, I will freely admit that Turbo stole all of its brown tech from the RefSieve community. This pair in particular plays with an agreement that loaded color clues are direct rather than referential.
Oh, cool.
And so that'll be interesting to see how that affects brown, because when you have those brown cards that are in a row that we've seen in previous games, to a loaded player, this pair can just clue brown and get the leftmost brown card to play. And then they can clue color to the card to the right of those brown cards to get the right brown card to play. So they might have one extra tool in the tool belt compared to other pairs for dealing with the brown cards.
There's a lot of interesting space when it comes to switching the signals based on if a player is occupied or loaded or overloaded if you're Jeff. all sorts of cool stuff. So neat. All right, let's see how it goes. Right off the bat, I see... Well, that's funny when you see this card is sandwiched between two red cards, so I guess you can't color push it. One is the only real option here. Can you actually get a read that the color is blocked? I guess it could just be dupes or something.
Yeah, so when Ranp receives a ones clue here, there's sort of two possibilities. One is that there's a color blocker, in the sense that slot 4 shares color with either slot 2 or slot 3. And the other possibility is that there's a card in slot 4 which Will wants to be able to give a discard instruction to later. So a common example of this would be if that's just a red 4, and then like the rest of the hand is like 5s and 2s.
Yeah. Something like this. Well,
yeah, then maybe
like
what
this.
Will wants to... Yeah, exactly. And maybe what Will wants to do in this scenario is, just clue 1 to Ranp and then know that a 2 clue is going to signal a red 4 discard later.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having clued red and now not having any way to signal a discard to the red 4.
So I guess Ranp can know that there's something weird, but not much actionable stuff. And speaking of non-actionable stuff... Oh, well, I guess you do have to save this, huh? Well, it looks to me like a 2 clue would save this 5. Or I guess more accurate to call this a discard instruction on slot 3, right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
And it marks a chop move on the slot 1 card, which I'm not certain, but I would assume this pair plays as a permanent chop move.
Oh, right. But that's the brown convention we talked about. Ooh, all right. And there's a brown card. How do we get it, though?
Probably blue, potentially red.
Red would work as a bluff. Blue... Okay. I guess I could see that could help tee this up for a play clue later, maybe. But okay, we get a push.
No.
Goodbye, brown 3. Or not? Can we save the brown 3?
This is a time where the loaded direct clues are coming in handy for this team, because instead of meaning push slot 5, this is just showing a brown 2 in Ranp's hand. And I think this team plays with a notion of priorities. So if Ranp chooses to play the fully known brown 2 instead of playing the unknown 1, I think Will Flame will just know about brown 3. Yeah.
All right, Will Flame, let's see. Did he catch it? There it is.
Boom.
And yeah, shout out to player information about your clues. It is a 1-for-1, but the mutual knowledge lets them capitalize on it. So very cool. And they get rewarded with the brown 4 showing up for them.
So in this situation, I think Will has a choice. Will knows that he's playing a brown 3 out of slot 4. He could potentially just clue brown to the brown 4 on this turn while Rand is still loaded, and then play brown 3 into the brown 4 next turn. But if he lets Rand play the 1 first, then red will be a color pushing the brown 4, and that is a much more efficient clue. So I suspect that's what Will is going to choose to do here.
Yeah, solid. But that is cool that he can just trust this is exactly brown 3. So that, yeah, he could, if he wanted to, do that. Ooh, okay. Wonder if this sways the math at all. You could clue brown here, get this to push, and then assume that this will get played by good touch later, but my gut says to clear the browns as fast as possible. What do you think?
My gut says the same thing. Yeah, let's get that brown 4 on the table.
All right, and Will Flame's
like
gut is the same. Yeah. There it is. I mean, of course that makes sense, right? Because the yellow is then still available to get this pushed later. That's not going anywhere. So very nice, and they still have a healthy clue count for now. Bum, bum. Cool. But yeah, I'm seeing... Okay. Sigh of relief here that there's not more trouble brewing here.
Yeah, the deck has been merciful.
And good old RefSieve. This is already saved for free. Hey, I smell a push coming. Dig. This 3 is pretty good looking, but I mean, surely you can't afford to save it. 5 clues, but both these 4s are okay. Everything's critical. I'm not seeing it.
Consider a bomb lock here.
Oh,
So I don't think I would use a clue to lock, but I think just slamming that PTD card in slot 1 to lock is worthy of consideration.
that's cool. That feels unintuitive, but it totally makes sense. Instead of spending a clue to save it and then forcing Rand to spend another clue and then discarding, you're just saying you could just burn this now and then dig deeper all in one action. That's cool. Okay, but Will is like not too worried about it. I mean, this actually even could be blue 3, so yeah, makes sense. Nice pickup. Ooh, a little more awkward because this is any blue card. Is this blue 2 worth saving from Rand PC? What do you think?
I think Rand is loath to let this blue 2 go and just hope that it's in his own hand. That doesn't seem like a very attractive option. The other 2 options that Rand has are to bomb lock Willflame here, or to just clue 2 and clue lock Willflame that way. And I think from among the 2 options, I think clue lock is looking a lot more attractive because it gives a fully known blue 2 in slot 1, and Willflame has a blue 3/4 in slot 5. This gives Will like the maximum ability to make the correct discard if a discard is called for, based on the identity of Rand's blue card in slot 2.
Right, yeah, because if this is the blue 2, unbeknownst to Rand, then yeah, then it's just a free chuck, and there's no problem at all.
Yep, and if there's a trash card on Rand's slot 1, and Rand has like a blue 3 or 4 in slot 2, then Will has the pretty attractive option of just discarding slot 5 and being like, see you later, blue card, I don't care. So.
And hey, even like we mentioned last seed, this blue 4 is, a little less valuable because there's the blue 5 in Will's hand too. But I mean, obviously you don't want to sacrifice a 4, it's a BDR still, so. Rand chooses the 2s. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, bomb locks feel, I don't know, scary. But, of course, they shouldn't be scary. Strikes are a resource, folks. And, I mean, fortunately for them, it is indeed a duplicate, so Will can just chuck it, and life continues. All sorts of ways to get this, I guess, but 4s make sense, yep.
Gives a lot of information, yeah.
And now, alright, still looking for a lot of good cards. Ooh, this is not on Chop yet, because this card is super stale, right? So, surely this has PTD.
Bingo bango.
Which, that just means this will naturally get saved, right? Because this will never get quote-unquote PTD. That's interesting. Hey, look at that. -5, -4 means this is set to roll. And this will naturally get saved. Pretty nice, RefSieve. Pretty nice. Free saves seem nice. Yellow push. And now, oh my goodness, everything's here. Except for blue 1, of course.
Seems like the only thing left now would be endgame optimization. But unfortunately, they just drew both blue 4s into the same hand as blue 5. And so, unbeknownst to Willflame, but Rand P is aware that endgame optimization is not going to be that fruitful on this particular seed.
So it goes. But yeah, that is scary. I mean, blue 3 is critical now. Blue 1 nowhere to be seen. So yeah, even if blue 3 is second from bottom now, I believe they still can't get perfect score, right?
That's right.
Scary. It's easy to say, well, nothing you can do about that. And in this case, it's true. There's nothing you can really do about that. But this is the sort of risk that we were talking about earlier. In theory, if things are going really well, sometimes you can actually really squeeze out that last little percentage by, stalling if possible. But sometimes you just got to play your 2. Sometimes you get just a little unlucky. Hey.
Now we're a lot less concerned, because it's hard to get bottom decked by a blue 1.
Yeah, the only way they can lose now due to that luck is, I think if all 3 blue 1s are literally on the bottom 3 cards. They'll just barely not squeeze it out, but I mean, yeah, the odds of that are astronomically low, so. Very nice. Push, reverse push, whatever. Boom. This is known. Boo, boo, boo. Hey. Looking good. Still no blue 1. Still technically not a win. Oh, okay, never mind. There it is. Right, this one is known to be the 2 from the old this discard. So I would expect the blue 2 to play before the brown 5. There it is. How polite. 3, let them unwind, and that is GG.
GG, clean. I believe a single BDR for this team with the blue 3 on this deal.
Yeah, it got a little spicy there. When no red 1s or blue 1s show up, that's not surprising that they needed to lose something, but hey, they tried.
Yeah, well played, and their system worked out very nicely for them with the not only saving the brown 3, but getting it to play without having to use a clue was
yeah,
a
that
big
was cool.
system win for them on this particular deal. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. So shout out to that loaded direct brown clue. Cool convention. All right, and as always, before we wrap up, let's do a quick tournament update. So, Steven, how'd the teams do overall with brown this week?
The teams did quite well. We had 5 teams with a perfect score this week, and 2 teams that only lost 1 point. We also had a team play that hadn't played any seeds in any of the previous weeks, which I'm always excited to see. And if you're watching this right now and thinking, oh, that sounds fun, maybe I'll dip my toe into the tournament, please do. Head over to the Hanabi Central Wiki to get the information, or join the Hanabi Central Discord and hit us up, and we'll, even if you don't have a partner, we'll find you one.
Absolutely. Can't recommend it enough. And yeah, all those links and information are right in the description of this video.
And I believe at the end of week 4, that leaves us with exactly 2 teams that still have a perfect score on what is now 16 games in a row.
Oh my goodness.
Which is incredible, actually. To put this in perspective, I believe that approximately the maximum human achievable win rate in 2-player Hanabi is like 95%. Other people will disagree with me, but I have some evidence to substantiate this claim. And what this means is that if these teams are playing at absolute peak human performance, this is still, for each of those teams, an individual high roll. They have a little bit less than a 50% chance of having done this a priori. Now, of course, we had a bunch of teams play, and so you would expect some teams to high roll when you have a bunch of teams doing this. So it's not necessarily like completely insane that we still have some teams with a perfect score. But I can't stress enough that 2 things have to happen. The teams have to play incredibly well, and they have to get somewhat lucky. And if you think 16 games in a row, perfect score, doesn't sound that impressive, I encourage you to try it yourself. Yeah. It is not as easy as you think it is.
All it takes is one little BDR, one little mistake, and it all goes crashing down.
Yeah.
And that's also without even talking about the extra wrinkles that all the special suits cause. So okay, so congrats to them, and congrats to all the teams for keeping it up. Like you mentioned last week, it's anyone's tournament to win at this point in the tournament. Fates can fold.
Absolutely. Yeah, we don't yet know who is going to win. It's whoever plays the best over the remainder of the tournament is what's going to happen here.
Very exciting. And we will be covering it all live. Not live, what the fuck? We'll be covering it each week. So we will see you next week for, Orange Suit. Exciting.
Yeah, Orange Suit, as a sneak preview, does the opposite of whatever action you tried to take with it. So if you try to play it, it discards instead. If you try to discard it, it plays instead.
I've never played Orange 2-player, so I'm very curious to see how that goes. So, all right, thank you, Steven. Thank you, audience. We'll see you next time.